Hey now, it's time for another RaceGrooves weekend show. Sorry for being late in the weekend, but as I said, this episode will be uploaded anytime, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because it's the weekend, any of those 3 days. But it's kind of late Sunday, so I'm sure some of you guys in Australia and the UK, you might already be into Monday. I didn't mean for it to be this late, but all this week I was working on this room. I had to scrub the floor. This is a stock room, and I just moved into this new warehouse. And I actually was going to use this stock room for something else. Changed my mind, and I decided to put all my loose cars in here. I have, I was doing an estimate, I got 10,000 loose cars alone. So when people ask me how many cars do I have, I don't have an actual count. But now that I moved a bunch of stuff in, I know I have over 10,000 loose cars alone. So I got a lot of cars. But as far as the videos of the week, I only did one video this week. It was a sponsored video for Modarri. I thank Modarri for reaching out and wanting to sponsor a video on RaceGrooves. I love their cars. They're interchangeable. No matter how many cars you buy, you can change the parts. You like the body on this one, you can put it on that one. So yeah, Modarri, I did a review on them, and you can check my recent videos. I'll put a link at the end, or it's in the description as well. Thanks again for them sponsoring RaceGrooves. The videos you get to watch for free, and I appreciate it when companies reach out and they help me provide content for the channel. And I only take sponsor deals when it makes sense for the sponsor, for RaceGrooves, and for you. Otherwise, I just don't do it. You should see some of the emails I get. Hey, can you? No, it doesn't make sense, okay? And I'm not here just to take the money. If it doesn't make sense for everybody, why do it, right? It's no good. Anyways, let's go ahead and, don't forget, I can't forget Blurylingus. Yeah, check out, he made me a nice little image for me to use for my thumbnails. The RaceGrooves weekend show. Thank you very much to Blurylingus. I look forward to using them every week. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's go ahead and let's do a few pieces of viewer mail first. By the way, when you mail something, make sure that you put Sweet M. They know where I am, but the full address, if you look in the description, you'll see my address here. You see STEM, well, STE is for sweet, and that's for this unit here, Sweet M. They'll find me, but you should put it in the description. So Jake, let's go ahead and check out Jake's email, not email, his physical mail, the snail mail. I don't like when people call it snail mail. I used to work for the post office, so when they say snail mail, it's a little rude, but whatever. Let's see what he has here. RaceGrooves, you are the best car collector. I first found you when I was looking at your car pictures, and I clicked on videos, and you were there. That's how I found you on YouTube. My first video was the Matchbox 60-pack collection with the exclusive Ford F-150. I remember that big thing. This Christmas, he might get a Hot Wheels 2017 case for Christmas. Well, good luck to you now. Bye. And of course, Drew Chevy Avalanche, RaceGrooves Chevy Avalanche. There it is. Thank you very much. And good news, 2. Let me go ahead and open this one up too. Yeah, I use a steak knife. It is so dull though, okay? It's not, it's about as sharp as a letter opener, and that's why I use it as a letter opener. Mark, I love RaceGrooves. I've been watching it for a year and a half. My name is Luke. Hey, Luke. He has 2 sisters. Their name is Kate and Eilis. I'm not sure what the other sister's name is. I can't read the first letter, and the others are I-L-L-A-S. Dillis? I'm not sure. So we have Luke, Kate, and his other sister. But I have one question. What is your favorite car? And look, he drew a little Hot Wheel. I always tell people my favorite car is Spinebuster, but I have lots of favorite cars. Look at my room here. I have lots of favorite cars, but I just tell people my favorite fantasy car is Spinebuster, and my favorite realistic car is the Ford GT. I've actually done a video on my top 5, but our tastes change. I'll put that link down in the description as well. Now let's get to a bunch of questions, a whole bunch of questions. Chayton Holmes writes, RaceGrooves, when will you review the rest of the Tonka Climb-Overs? I still have them. I got, I have the 2 big sets. I still have them sitting over there waiting for me to review. As a matter of fact, I've been as I've been getting organized all this week, I have been also sorting my Matchbox cars. All the Matchbox fantasy cars are getting put in boxes, right, in the packages. As a matter of fact, you can see right here, I have my Hot Wheels sorted. These are the fantasy cars, so you can see the alphabet right there. So like Spine Buster is going to be, I'll have Spine Buster down here in the S's. But so Matchbox, I haven't even been sorting them really. They're just called in containers. So like these plastic containers here. Well, so I'm getting them all organized. All the fantasy are going to be in by alphabetical, my A box, B box, C box, or whatnot. Now there's cars that I like to collect, like let's say the ice cream truck, right? Well, if I have a lot of ice cream trucks, it might get a container all by itself. So I've been working over in that corner, trying to get that corner cleaned up because I'm going to make another filming area. And the 2 Tonka Climb-Over sets, they're sitting right there. So who knows, hopefully soon I'll be able to get to those. John Igniter writes, when you plan your track setups, do you have the mind of an artist, like having a picture or a layout in your head and where everything will go? Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have. I have the idea how I want the track layout to go. And then I set it all up and then I figure out, well, this ain't going to work. That's not going to work. This part here, maybe I made too long of a straightaway for the car to get to the next booster. Maybe a lot of cars will have trouble getting to the next booster. So sometimes I have to shorten it up, you know, have to brace this, do that. So while, yes, like an artist, in my mind, I have an idea. But when it comes to reality, just like anytime you set up your layouts, you know, you have to do a little adjusting. JM1313. I was at Target yesterday and I saw some new Hot Wheels track sets. I think you should get them. Yeah, I plan on doing them next year. Awesome Tiger Gaming 55. You tell them, RaceGrooves, ask RaceGrooves, what is your favorite fantasy treasure hunt car? I really enjoyed the basic Speedbox treasure hunt from a couple years ago. Mr. Williams in the UK, he sent me a private message through Instagram, and if you do that, you know, use the blue box so this way it's easier for me to see in my PMs. Hey Mark, I live in the UK. I know you have 99-cent stores, but we have, and I believe that symbol means Poundland. Anyway, I buy most of my Hot Wheels from Poundland. Are the Hot Wheels I buy the same quality as the ones I buy from Mazda? Well, you would say Walmart. So, are they the same quality? Same cars worldwide. Doesn't matter where you buy them. If they're in that regular Hot Wheels package, they're all the same quality. Veggie writes, can you do more track time, please? I wish. So I've been organizing, and I'm going to make another filming area so that I can get have like a more dedicated track time. Doing the track time on the floor, it was very rough on me. It's hard on me physically because I got to get down on the floor, get up and down every time a car crashed, you know. And it poses filming problems. And also, if I got to do other things, it's in the way. It's on the floor. So that's why I'm clearing another area so I can have another dedicated track time setup. But then I do have the blue room with that big table there. So yeah, I definitely I got to get better organized so I can get more track time videos done. And as you can see, I asked him, did you watch the one with the volcano? Because I find that sometimes people come to my channel and they watch the most recent track time and then they say, hey, more track time. You know, I got like, I don't know, 70 track time videos. I got a lot of track time videos. So while you're waiting for the next one, I'll put the playlist for track time in the description. Check out an older one until I get to the next one. Turbocharged Cabbage asks, hi, I love the content you produce. My question is if you had to create a model yourself, what would it be like? Would it be like a fantasy pickup or a muscle car? Thanks, ask RaceGrooves. It would definitely be a car. If I were to design a fantasy model, it would be a car because there's definitely a lot more car collectors than there are truck collectors. The Chunko, another guy from the UK, sent a PM. Hi Mark, following on from the guy in the UK who is struggling to find Hot Wheels. I've been a collector for several years and the most convenient and cost-effective way to buy Hot Wheels has been the supermarkets. What I've noticed this year, however, is supermarkets have really cut back on the normal Hot Wheels collections in favor of theme cars such as Mario, Avengers, Star Wars. He's talking about the character cars and that kind of stuff, right? As a result, I too have struggled and become frustrated trying to find reliable places to pick up cars. Tim, yeah, you know, it can be hard. Even here in Southern California, right? There's so much competition for the cars. You know, 8 million people in LA alone, right? So a lot of, well, they're not all after Hot Wheels. I'm just talking about there's a lot of people here. And it can be really hard to find cars here as well. But as far as them cutting back, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, and I actually replied to him, I would not be surprised that they carry that other stuff because it sells for, in the USA, sells for $3.50, $4, and it takes like the same amount of space as a regular Hot Wheel. So if you were a store, what are you going to want to sell? Something that sells for $1 and they probably make pennies? Or are you going to try to sell something that sells for $4 and they probably make over $1, probably over $1 profit on that? So what would you sell if it was your store? You want to earn pennies or you want to earn dollars? That's my guess. I don't know. Hot Wheels Players 736 asks, do I ever see myself quitting the hobby? Well, no, I don't see myself quitting the hobby at all. Maybe cutting back. Sometimes you change your focuses. Sometimes you collect this and you decide to collect that. Now, you know, do I continue collecting Hot Wheels? Probably to some extent, but maybe I move into some of the higher dollar stuff with lots of details, lots of parts. I'm talking about the $50, $100, the $50 and the $100 cars. I definitely would like to have something of that in my collection. So I don't see myself quitting collecting, but I can easily see myself scaling back, you know. Also, he loves my vids. I inspired him to make his own channel, so he made a custom RaceGrooves Highway Hauler 2. Check it out. He took Highway Hauler 2 and he printed out the little RaceGrooves logo and stuck it on the safe. Hey, he's got himself his own little RaceGrooves delivery truck there. Chief Customs asked, what's my favorite Monster Jam truck? And I like Dragon. I'm a big fan of Dragon. Just the sculpt and the design itself. As far as on the circuit, I've been to a couple shows. You know, Dragon wasn't at either show that I attended. But hopefully I can make it to a show in the future to see Dragon. I like Zombie too. All those were from Instagram. Let's check some YouTube comments. The duty paid. If you brought out your own line of model cars, which car would be your first and would it be a fantasy model? Yeah, first of all, it would be a fantasy model. But second of all, I don't see myself coming out with my own line of cars at all, okay? Are you kidding? And all the complaints about the companies nowadays, do you think I want that headache? I have people complaining. They're so expensive to run that operation, the logistics and all that stuff. I do not see myself coming out with a line of cars. Maybe RaceGrooves gets licensed on some other brand of cars. You know, that's always a possibility. Coming out with cars? Probably not. Track sets and play sets? Scoop posted, RaceGrooves, you posted a big ramp on Instagram. Are you doing a video on it? Yes, sir. Or ma'am, I don't know. I didn't check. That's why I have the warehouse here, so that I can set up big downhill tracks, have some nice friendly competitions. Maybe I have some people coming over. Maybe I have a family of 4 coming over. And maybe it's the boys versus the girls, or maybe I have friends come over and it's, we make little Absolutely, I have big plans, and that's why I have my own ramps, and I even have my own patented track too, as a matter of fact. Rivera E asked, did I go to the last 2 KARTK Days? Yep, made them. As a matter of fact, K-Days has been going on for over 10 years, or about 10 years, right? I think I've only missed a couple out of all that time. So yeah, I rarely ever miss an event. Now I don't promote it on my channel anymore, but yeah, I go every time. Poopsticle 256, can you give me tips for YouTube? Ask RaceGrooves. My biggest tip is to be authentic, right? Create content that comes from you, right? Don't try to copy somebody else because then people can tell you're trying to copy somebody else. Come out with your natural you, and it's very important for you to talk about your knowledge, your skills, your abilities, right? Because then when you talk, it just flows. It's so easy, right? Know your stuff, all right? Whatever you decide to do, create content. I definitely encourage you to be informational or entertaining, okay? Either way, but definitely be entertaining because nobody wants to listen to somebody who's boring, right? No Era Rembum W. I think your Hot Wheels and Matchbox comparison rings true in more ways than one. Both brands are owned by the same company. You could say similar things about American democracy. That's because in the last weekend show, I mentioned about the elections and who I voted for and stuff. Yeah, I thought that using Hot Wheels and Matchbox, first of all, it's a toy car channel. So it's the only reason I even brought up the subject, because I have a Trump limousine from Mesa from years ago. Otherwise, I'm not going to bring up political stuff. That's not what this channel's for, right? But yeah, using those brands were pretty indicative or a pretty good representation of the U.S. We have two major political parties. So you have Hot Wheels and Matchbox, both from Mattel, and it seems like they're the same. And then you got, yeah, there should be some third and fourth parties that we need to support as well, just like diecast, right? You know, there's other toy cars out there or diecast collectibles. You know, give them a look too, right? There's only not two brands. Nicole Biggerstaff, can you do a review on the digital speedometer from the Track Builder system? Yeah, I have that. I should review it, right? I got it. Mark Wells, I think you are prejudicial. I've said it before and I will say it again. When you are doing track videos, spread out some Matchbox, fire trucks, ambulance, and tow trucks. Have them look like real races. Mark gives me a hard time. He's been watching a long time, right? But you know what happens is I set up my track time. I used to film track time on like a carpet, like a city scene. And then it kind of looked real busy, you know, it was too much going on in the scene. So that's why now I just film on a carpet that's one color. So this way, what pops out? The track. You see the track and anything happens to the car, it's really easy to follow along. If it crashes off of the course, it's really easy to follow along. Now, there was one video, I think it was Big Air Jump. I'm not sure, but, you know, cars would fly off, and I think it was. And then I said, oh, we're going to need an ambulance. So he's been teasing me that long. He's been giving me a hard time that long about using ambulance. He's right, but it doesn't matter. It's just, oh, so when I get that other filming area, right, maybe I'll be able to make nicer areas because I just have a dedicated area to film for a track time. So maybe, Mark, someday. Josh the Ford Boy 64, he posted, do I like Ford or Chevrolet? Ask RaceGrooves. And he posted on my weekend show when I was talking about the elections, and it's like you have two choices, and so you have people are either this way or that way. So, you know, people were replying to him. I didn't show it, but people were replying saying that you're just trying to start trouble because you have to be Ford or you have to be Chevy. Hey, just like toy cars. See this whole room here? I have containers. They'll be, oh, my Ferrari's right there. Hang on. Yeah, look, the whole container is Ferrari models. I don't know if I have one or two, but these are the only ones that I've sorted out. I still have some over there in cases that need to be sorted. But on that note, I don't care. I'm not, just like I talked about Democrat and Republican, okay? I vote for the best person. It doesn't matter what party you come from. You don't even have to come from those two parties, okay? So with the real cars, I drive my Chevy Avalanche. I love my Chevy Avalanche. We have a car. We have a Nissan Sentra. Okay. I've had a Chevy Vega. I had a couple Chevys. I had a Datsun B210. What else did I have? Seems like I'm missing a car. But anyways, on that note, no, I don't care. Whatever I like, doesn't matter the brand. If I like the car, I'm going to buy it. It don't have to be Ford or Chevrolet. John, STF72. I know you collect a lot of car brands. I just talked about that actually. But which is your favorite toy car brand to collect for? What brand really got you into this hobby? It'd be nice to hear. So look, obviously Hot Wheels is the biggest brand. They sell the most cars. So it's the dominant brand. But is it my favorite toy car brand? Well, sure, why not? But I like other brands too. That's what I just talked about. So let's just get to the second part. What brand really got you into this hobby? Well, look, you know, I was a kid. I was a kid in the 60s, and when Hot Wheels came around, I love Hot Wheels right away, right? But as an adult, my kids were born in the 90s. So what? You go to the toy store to buy toys for your kids. And then that's how I got back into the Hot Wheels. Yes, Hot Wheels, it would be Hot Wheels that got me back into the hobby. Hey, it's Rusher. If you could afford to rebuild any Hot Wheels car and have it in the real world to actually drive and for it to be street legal, what car would it be? And as you can see, James LOL Reviews posted, hey, Reverb may be based on a Lamborghini Gallardo. And he's correct. Two cars that both accelerates, as a matter of fact, that I would love to have as a real car would be Spinebuster, as I mentioned. And as James stated, it would be Reverb as another fine choice. Garrett Vincent posted a comment. Good political analogy using diecast brands as example of voting, buying what you like or what makes sense for you. I'll be using that example. But he might use Maysto or Johnny Lightning though. Hot Wheels and Matchbox both owned by Mattel. Haha. Keep up the good works, Mark. Him and his 6- and 9-year-old girls watch faithfully, especially track videos. Thanks a lot, Garrett. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, there's lots of examples that we can give. And I like collecting Maisto and Johnny Lightning as well, right? Have for many years. As a matter of fact, that last row over there is Johnny Lightning and Matchbox. So I got a lot, and Maisto. So those three brands, I have a lot of those cars as well. But it's just that Hot Wheels produces more variety. So obviously, I have more Hot Wheels. Dominoing 101. What is your favorite non-car channel? You know what, I like to watch, like The Big Think. That would be a good choice because you hear different perspectives. But, you know, I also enjoy watching Seeker and those kind of informational shows. Now, John and his organization, they have the science show and stuff like that. I like to watch those too. Last but not least, I have a question here from Cool Gaming CG. Why don't you do more Hot Wheels toy reviews? Ask RaceGrooves. You know, for one, I've been moving into this new warehouse, right? So that took a lot of time. Plus, I'm getting used to how to have some type of flow. Not only that, you know, trying to work with companies to try to get sponsorships and everything. That's why I appreciate when Modarri, you know, glad to do that sponsored video. And I like the product too, right? And I've had conversations with, let's say, other major toy companies. I've been to the headquarters of other major toy companies. And I've even had discussions with major toy retailers to try to get some type of, you know, sponsored deal going, right? Because it makes total sense for my channel, for their brand. Totally makes sense. And here we come. We're coming up Thanksgiving's next year, and then the big Christmas holiday season. And I don't know what to tell you. So I will be doing more Hot Wheels toy reviews. More than likely for the rest of the year, it's going to be more like track time stuff. But as far as reviewing actual current products that's in the stores, I'll be doing those after the gift giving holiday buying season. Okay, thank you very much for watching another RaceGrooves weekend show. Here's some videos for you to check out. And I also put other videos in the description below, especially if I mention them during this presentation right now. In the meantime, happy collecting. Have fun with your toys. Bye-bye.